Moon does here. Let's go over all the games happened on Friday night. The first game is the Miami Heat losing to the Atlanta Hawks. Jimmy Butler, he's in and out the lineup due to rest. Whenever he plays, this guy is just a beast. Efficient everywhere, a lot of rebound, a lot of assists, a lot of defensive stats as well. The only thing is he doesn't hit threes. He attempted three pointers here. Missed all 19 points, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Sometimes free throw is one thing that's get overlooked a lot. Like 7 for 7 from free throw line to me is like, two steals, more like 15 points, that kind of, not 15 points, 25 points. 7 for 7 from free throw really helps your free throw a lot. 7 assists, only 2 rebounds, 3 steals in a block. Another great game from Jimmy Butler. Basically, he was a top 5 guy. Let's look at his last 2 months. Oh my God. How is that even possible? The last 2 months, he's the first ranked player. Man, in 9 category leagues, averaging 2.3. He was better than Jokic the last 2 months. Mainly because he's averaging 2.3 steals, 54% from the field. That's really, really high for Jimmy. 85% from the 86. He can do that. 6.6 rebounds, 7 assists. So Jimmy, after out due to COVID, he's been the number 1 guy. Maybe one of his best seasons, to be honest. In the last month, Curry is probably better than him. Yeah, he's the number 2 ranked player in the last month because Curry really won. Curry had a great month. But man, Jimmy Butler has been so good this year. After he came back from COVID, the first month and a half he was really, really bad. Trevor Ariza, had an okay game, 10 rebound, 3 threes. Whenever Jimmy Butler misses games, I think we could consider streaming Trevor Ariza for some threes and for some defensive stats and a little bit of rebound assists as well. Trevor Ariza is a guy that could also fill up the stat sheet. Main thing with him is his efficiency. Bam, another great game. The defensive stat starts coming in, and the free throw is more like the old Bam. 4 for 6 from the free throw line, which is okay. Only 3 rebounds, 5 assists, but 3 steals and 1 block is really, really good. Duncan Robinson continues to be a streamer, and Kendrick Nunn put up a really empty line. Well, 5 threes is really good, 21 points, but nothing else. I think Kendrick Nunn does have some streaming value, but he's a guy that could only score a little bit, but does nothing else. He usually doesn't hit that many threes, doesn't get a lot of assists or steals, unless he gets 33, 34 minutes. This game, weirdly, Tyler Hero only got 16, so I wouldn't go stream Kendrick now, right? The only time he was worth streaming is when all the guys were all like Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic, and he was getting consistent 35 minutes. That's when we considered streaming him for the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young is gonna be out for like 2 weeks. So if you don't have an IR spot, I think, like I mentioned before, he is a job. Basketball Monster said his expected rate is May 10th. That's 2 weeks out. That's when the fantasy playoff is over. If in your league you got 2 more weeks, it's a drop. Don't hold on to him, right? Pretty straightforward. If he comes back in 2 weeks and he's gonna be on a minute restriction, if you don't have an IR, for sure it's a drop. Solomon Hill played 35 minutes. We don't like this guy. We like Kevin Huerter much better. This game, who did they play? The Miami Heat. Kevin Huerter had 5 steals, 6 assists, 3 threes, 11 points. Kevin Huerter is a guy that could do a little bit everything. Not in huge volume, but a little bit rebound, a little bit assists, a little bit steals, and some blocks even, and some threes. His efficiency is the only thing that's not so good. Bogdanovic is a must-roster guy with Trae Young out. He should be getting plenty of usage. 21 points, 8 assists, consider the way he's been playing. He took 13 shots. Another pretty good game, 5 threes, man. He's been making a lot of threes lately. John Collins, 32 minutes. One of his, Capella's got an injury going on. I don't know how serious it is. Let's see, Capella. He's questionable, but we would expect Collins to put up much better numbers with Capella out. Okongwu started in place of Capella. If Capella is out, we could consider streaming him. After all, centers playing 25 minutes should give us good enough rebound uh, and blocks if we need those. Brandon Goodwin, we thought he's gonna play 30 plus minutes if Trae Young is out, but that's not the case because they just slide. They actually give the minutes to Solomon Hill. We would expect Bogdanovich and Kevin Huerter to be the 2 and 3, and Brandon Goodwin could be the point guard. But Solomon Hill comes in, Bogdanovich becomes the point guard, and he doesn't get 35 minutes. He still played 21 minutes, but we don't think we want to stream him with him playing 20 minutes. Gallinari, if you need points, threes, and a little bit and really good free throw, we could consider him, but only streaming, very specific. This game only 22 minutes. Let's go to the next game. The Nets beating the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is out again. I think it's day to day. If you already held on him for 2 games, just to see what happens. Because if he's gonna be out next game, he gets an out tag. But it's not too serious. So he's a top 50 guy. It's tough because he's day to day. You can't drop a guy that's day to day. It's hard to drop a top 50 guy who's a day to day. I think there's got to be other guys on your team you could drop, unless you got a superstar team. And if you got a superstar team, then you probably win your matchup easily. Jason Tate in this game played 40 minutes to 27 shots. That's understandable. With both Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown out, still no defensive stats, and 4 for 7 from the free throw line is bad, but 6 threes, 38 points is pretty good. Tristan Thompson is a rebound streamer with Robert Williams out. Robert Williams should be close, right? If he's out there on the waiver wire, we could consider picking him up. See what happens. If he's gonna in your IR, then you stash him in there. Marcus Smart had 2 steals. That's pretty good. 2 threes. The efficiency is rough with Marcus Smart. We know that 19 points is pretty high for Marcus Smart, so can't complain there. Evan Fournier came back. He's not worth rostering, but this season he's been getting a ridiculous amount of blocks. 1 block here again. He's not obviously not a. I don't even want to stream him, to be honest, because he's not getting 30 plus minutes. Peyton Pritchard actually had a pretty good game in terms of scoring. Really good efficiency, but not. I think they're just not letting him loose, not giving him huge minutes, even with Kemba Walker out. He's still a rookie after all. Don't trust rookies. Brad Stevens does not trust in rookies all that much. For the Nets, Kyrie should have a pretty good finish. Although this game, 4 for 19, and Kevin Durant was questionable coming into the game, so I guess the leg injury wasn't too serious. What else are you gonna do with KD? He's day to day at this point, so you can't drop him. Kyrie 4 for 19. The efficiency is well, but 7 for 7, like I talked about earlier. 7 for 7 from free throw line is pretty good. It gets overlooked sometimes. 9 rebound, 11 assists, 4 steals and a block. Just filled up the stat sheet. His efficiency is bad and no threes this game. But Harden is if you still got Harden on your roster for sure. If you have an IR, okay, you can put him in there. He's not hurting you, but he's a drop. He won't be back till the actual playoffs, I believe. In our fantasy playoff, he won't be back. It sucks, but what else can you do? Gotta move on. That's why Kyrie should have a monster finish the next 2-3 weeks. He's the only healthy guy out there. DeAndre Jordan, 24 minutes. Him and Blake Griffin, basically, Claxton is also out. So him and Blake Griffin, they're splitting the minutes. So I will be comfortable streaming DeAndre Jordan. Blake Griffin, the guy doesn't really, in 23 minutes, he won't give you any categories, to be honest. But DeAndre Jordan does. He gives you rebound and blocks. A really good game here, actually. So if they got a back-to-back, I think it's a no-brainer. We want to stream DeAndre Jordan. Joe Harris, a 3-point streamer, played pretty well. 2 blocks and 20 points. And Jeff Green, all the starters played okay for the Nets. And Landry Shamet has been getting huge minutes the past 2-3 games. He went off 1 game, but he's only a 3-point streamer. But I would much prefer Joe Harris over him. And Bruce Brown continue his huge rebound games. I don't know what's up with this guy. Really good efficiency in only 27 minutes. 8 rebound again. So he's another guy that if you need rebound and some defensive stats, especially coming on from a guard, he's the one to go to. He can really pop off, get 4 steals. He does that every once in a while. Let's go to the next game. The Charlotte Hornets beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love is still playing somehow. So that's also impacting Larry Nance Jr. They both played around 27 minutes. This game, Kevin Love, he give you a good source of rebound threes and free throws. As a big guy, a little bit scoring. But he doesn't give you assists and steals and blocks. So he doesn't give you assists and defensive stats. So if you roll those, Kevin Love may not be for you. And his value is really fringe anyways. So you could consider cutting him. He become a stream guy, right? Especially depending on your playoffs. If you need to win 2 of those 3 categories, he's probably a job. Jared Allen, 6 for 6, okay, pretty good efficiency-wise. But the blocks, in the last month, the blocks has been missing from Allen. Yeah, he's not even ranked inside of 200. The minutes is high, but it's just no blocks. Well, I don't know. Blocks should be his best category, and the blocks has been disappearing. I don't know if he's even averaging 1. He's still a hold, in my opinion. And the 2 guards played well again. It's a late season surge. Darius Garland and Colin Sexton has been playing really, really well. Colin Sexton, 39th ranked player in the last month. Another pretty good game for him. 7 rebound, good efficiency from the field. 7 rebound is really good for Colin Sexton standard. And get a steal, 28 points. While Darius Garland also been really, really good last month. Both guys were great in the beginning of the season. And maybe they figured it out. And now, at the end of the season, both are playing so well. Darius Garland, 60th ranked player, averaging 20 points, 6.4 assists, and 1.4 steals, 2.4 threes, right? Still almost grabbing no rebound, 3 rebound, 0.2 blocks. But another thing with him is the efficiency has been pretty good with him, 48% from the field. That's also very high for him. But the turnover number is also pretty high, 3 to 3. So, good. Both guys are for sure. If they're playing like this, it's hard to drop them. Larry Nance Jr. And when I say drop them, it's like very specific scenarios. If you are trying to win for those 2 guards, if you're trying to win rebound and blocks, and you already got like the other 12 guys on your team is already grabbing over 5 rebound or like 0.5 blocks in that specific situation, and if you're trying to win those 2 categories, maybe you can consider dropping them stream because you're trying to win. You're trying to win the matchup. Otherwise, you're out. Larry Nance Jr. 8 rebound. He could be a guy that's streaming for rebound, some field goal and steals. 27 minutes. He could give you decent enough volume for those 3 categories. For the Charlotte Hornets, Miles Bridges, the minutes continues to be high. I think he's a must roster at the moment, especially when you need some points and some rebound. He's been doing a little bit of everything else. He hit 4 threes this game. Really, really good. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals. He's been on a tier without injuries. In the last month, yes, 53rd ranked player, and playing so well right now and playing huge minutes every single game. He's a must roster. PJ Washington, which is really weird. He played 14 minutes last game. This game finally started, had a really good game. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal and a block, 5 threes. I mean, if your center hit this many threes, that's really, really good. The efficiency still could be rough with him, from the field and from the free throw line. But I think he's also a must roster. Terry Rozier, 25 points, 6 assists, 2 threes, and a steal. Okay game from Terry Rozier. And Devontae Graham continued to just destroy a field goal. Like, he's a guy. If you're trying to win field goal, if you're trying to win 2 of the big man stats like field goal or rebound or blocks, he really give you threes and assists. He give you a lot of assists, to be honest. But if you don't need assists, he's a drop. Yeah, for sure he's a drop. Because If you don't need assists and you trying to win the big man stats, he's a drop. Um, pretty clear, I think, in the playoffs. Cody Martin got his 23 minutes. Didn't really do much, so we can really. Jalen McDaniels be losing minutes, so both guys you wanna drop them. Bismack Biyombo, if you need some rebound, you could stream him for some rebound. Cody Zeller hasn't played for 2 games. If they got a back to back, if you're trying to win rebound, yes, he's a guy you could for sure stream. The next game is the Clippers beating the Houston Rockets. Paul George has been so good. Kawhi Leonard is gonna be out for like maybe 1 or 2 more games, at least. And like I said, beginning of the week when the news came out, you could consider dropping Kawhi Leonard because he's gonna miss at least 3 games if you don't have an IR, of course, because he's gonna miss 3 games. So that's already one week and a half, and the Clippers' schedule in the next 2 weeks is horrible. They have 3 total games, and they are on another factor is they are winning. I think they won 11 out of the 12 games. So they're gonna especially when we get to the finals week in our fantasy, depending on where you find out next week or next 2 weeks. There's gonna be a lot of Clipper guys gonna be resting. Maybe because they have 3 games each, they don't have a. Let me check if they have a back to back. If they got a back to back, Kawhi and Paul George, they're gonna play 2 games for sure that week, and that's why I'm saying Paul George. Obviously, you don't drop. He's being a top 10 guy, whenever playing with Kawhi, but consider dropping Kawhi Leonard. Now you already held him through. It's already Saturday, so he might be back Monday. Who knows? But you probably should have dropped him when you had a chance in the beginning of the week. Paul George, great, 33 points. Efficiency is rough, but 10 for 10 from the free throw line is really, really good. 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. The steals coming back for Paul George late in the season, and also this game, Marcus Morris is also out. I think whenever Marcus Morris comes back and play, we could stream him for some points, for some rebound, for some threes. But Clippers don't have a good schedule. They don't have like 5 games or anything like that. But you could for sure stream him. Zubac 24 minutes. I think we gotta roster him. Very good source of rebounding efficiency. Nicholas Batum played high minutes with a couple guys out. He's really if you don't need points and threes, he hit some threes, to be honest. If you don't need points, he's pretty good. He can give you a little bit of everything. For the Rockets, yes, Christian Wood went off this game like almost 2020, but again, he hurt his ankle. What is up with Christian Wood this season? His ankle is, and he went 8 for 22 this game, but it's okay. I think he just had one bad shooting night. But his ankles, man, maybe he gotta get new sneakers. He injured his ankle a lot this season at least. So hopefully he can train on his ankles a little bit. But with him out, he's going to be out for a couple games. I don't know. I would hold on to see how severe it is. With ankle injuries, like at least a week. And he's another guy you could consider moving out from. Because he's going to be, unless he gets a couple situations, unless he gets an out tag right away, he's going to be day-to-day for 3 games. Right? Even if you have an IR, that will be tough. And again, how many games he's out? Last time he was out for like a week and a half, and then coming back with a week and a half. That's, if your fantasy season is over in 2 weeks, for sure drop it. He might come back, play 1 game for you, and that's like 20 minutes. I would wait till the news come out. Maybe wait till like there's an early game 1 o'clock today. So just gotta make some tough decisions. If you and your matchup are pretty close, I think Christian Wood is a job. Depending on how I think he's going to be out for a week and a half. Kelly Olynyk, meanwhile, should get a usage boost. I think Kelly Olynyk, he's probably rostered everywhere already. He could really realistically help you win the league now that Christian Wood is out. He's the 27th ranked player in the last month. Who knows? He can move up to 20th with Christian Wood out, even more minutes, more usage. And I think we can consider picking up Kenyon Martin Jr. Maybe they will play Kelly Olynyk at the center and play Kenyon Martin. He's a guy that can block some shots, can do a little bit everything. this game played 22 minutes and blocked 2 shots right there. So we could consider streaming him. Daniel House came back, interesting, but only got 20 minutes, and they're still playing John. Also, like Kevin Porter Jr. and Christian Wood, they were supposed to have a monster finish. Kevin Porter Jr. is also absolutely a drop. I wouldn't even put him in the IR because he's gonna be out for 10 for 14 days, and I mean he wasn't giving us great value anyway. So if you don't have an IR, for sure he's a drop. But he already got the out tag, so that's good. Jason Tate also, I think you got to pick him up. These guys are gonna have some huge minutes right now. That Wood and Kevin Porter Jr. Both guys are playing 30+ minutes, so a lot of minutes opening up and a lot more usage. And John Wall is gonna be in and out of the lineup. Like I said, John Wall is not a must roster, in my opinion. But he's been playing a lot of games lately. Again, just go out there 9 for 22, just shoot, 22 shots. 13 assists is really good. 1 steal, 2 blocks. The counting stat look really good. Sure. So just check the schedule. If the Rockets got a back-to-back coming up, you play him the first night and then drop him because he's gonna miss the back-to-back, and whenever the next game is, that's like 3-4 days without a game in the playoffs. And this is like on the better side. Some nights he'll give you 15 points and 6 assists on bad efficiency and nothing else. So I don't think he's a must roster. The next game, the Wizards are rolling. Okay, they beat the OKC Thunder, but that doesn't mean much. But still, I believe they won They won 7 straight. Right now, the 10th seed. Who knows? They might catch up to the Pacers. Pacers got a lot of injuries going on. And really, they only won. In the last column, in the last column, they lost 2 more games than the Pacers. But the Pacers, they are, if Wizards are playing this well, who knows? They might be the 9th seed. The Wizards are rolling at the moment. Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal finally coming back and healthy. He was out for a week or 2. In and out of the lineup, healthy, playing really well. 33 points. Still in the block, 6 rebound, good efficiency everywhere, hit for 3s. I think Raw Neto, we could consider streaming him for at least. I checked the Wizards schedule. They have a 5-game week, not next week, but next week. That's probably depending on your league. That might be a finals week. Maybe our season is already over by next week. But we would absolutely consider. By the look at things, we want to consider streaming Raw Neto that week. He could potentially help you win some categories, especially the steals and assists. He's been a really good steals guy all season, and he's been getting 30+ minutes. So I like him. He had 5 assists, 2 steals, 15 points, a pretty good game. What else can you say about Russell Westbrook? This game, only 3 turnovers, good efficiency everywhere. No defensive stats, that's the only thing. He even hit 3 threes, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. Russell Westbrook has been a beast in terms of counting stats. Nobody can match him in the last month or so. And played every single game. Great. Daniel Gafford also, we could stream him. Wizards got like I said, I mentioned this a lot. Wizards have a good playoff schedule because they missed so many games in the beginning of the season, 4, 5, 6 games, that they just play. They just get one more game than the rest of the teams every single week, so they'll have a good schedule. Davis Bertans has been, he's a 3-point streamer. He's been hitting a lot of 3s lately, 3 for 3s pretty consistently. So if you need 3s, I think he's a better option than Joe Harris at the moment. And Daniel Gafford, if you want some rebound and some blocks, he's a guy. Even just 15, 16 minutes. Another great win for the Wizards. And OKC also, check the schedule. They got a 5-game week coming up next week. So a lot of guys become attractive. Pokusevski is a guy that could do a bit of everything, so I like him. Darius Bazley had 5 steals this game somehow. He's a very good source of points and rebound, but just remember he might lose you the field goal and free throw. So be careful when you stream Darius Bazley. The counting stat look pretty good. Moses Brown he had 4 personal fouls in 7 minutes. He was getting his value was really he's not a must roster. But consider they got 5 games next week, and again, if you're trying to win free throws, maybe it's not the best idea to 5 games on Moses Brown, he might just lose you free throws. But if you don't care about the free throws, and you're trying to win one, either rebound or blocks, sure, you gotta pick him up. Lu Dort came back. He's also another guy. The worry with Lu Dort is they're resting him. I feel like he's a young guy, but they're still resting him in 5 weeks. So he might still play 4 games. And he was playing on the per game basis. He's playing so well. Like before this, he was averaging 30 points for like 2-3 games. So I would consider picking up Lu Dort. Theo Maledon also played a good game versus the Wizards. 20 points, 8 assists, and still in a block. Again, he has 5 games. The efficiency is very rough with him, but he could give you a good source of assists and some steals. So depend on what you need. But a lot of Thunder guys worth streaming next week. Isaiah Roby also. Everybody looked good against the Wizards, even though they lost. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals in a block. And Kendrick Williams, because they have 5 games, I think a lot of guys going to rest, and he might come in there and play 30 minutes. But I think he's probably the last option on this team in terms of who to stream next week. But keep your eye on the OKC guys because they got 5 games, and I don't think Shea's coming back. The next game, the Grizzlies beating the Portland Trailblazers. Look at Jaren Jackson Jr. This is why some league managers held on to him for so long, expecting him to do this. But he did it at the end of April. For a lot of guys, might be if you got Jackson on your team, your season probably over before he came back. 23 points, really, really good. 10 for 14. Did not hit a 3, still in a block in just 25 minutes. He looked pretty good. And, holding on to it. Just too bad he came back too late. With him back, Valanciunas is still out, so you could still stream Xavier Tillman. I think Kyle Anderson is still getting 25, 26 minutes. I would also hold on to him. Pretty good game, another pretty good game for him. Did a little bit everything. 8 rebounds, still in a block, 14 points. Dylan Brooks, playing so well lately. Is it because Jaren Jackson coming back? 11 for 19, just good efficiency again. Had a steal, 25 points, 3 threes. This is what Dylan Brooks does. He's very up and down. I think 70% of the time his shooting is around low 40s, but then 30% of the time he would go on 2 weeks shooting 50% from the field, averaging 23, 24 points. I think he's in that phase right now. Grayson Allen, he's getting 30 plus minutes, but we know even in 30 minutes he doesn't give us that good of a good value. And Ja Morant, another huge game. Maybe Jaren Jackson Jr. comeback is giving all of his teammates a boost, especially Ja and Dylan Brooks. 33 points, 13 assists. Maybe he just opened things up for them. A guy that stretches the floor very, very well. One of the best 3-point shooting big guys in the NBA. 13 assists, just great. But the threes and the defensive stats are still lacking. But 0 turnover, that's good. He gave us 13 assists. And DeAnthony Melton is always the guy I want to see what he did that night. He played 24 minutes, which is okay. A steal and 2 blocks, really, really good actually. But the minutes, he will be forever. He will not be freed ever this season. Pretty obviously. For the Portland Trailblazers, Norman Powell. This is the Norman Powell that I am more accustomed to see. 13 points, bad efficiency. Sometimes he will score 20 points, but sometimes he scored 12, 13 points and nothing else. He had a steal, 1-3. Robert Covington. Still shot the ball horribly, but I guess it's a bounce back game. The defensive stats had 1 steal and a block, 8 rebound. Okay, 7 points. You obviously hold on to Lord. Look at the minutes. He played 39 minutes. But I think him playing alongside Nurkic, he doesn't get the blocks, the steals that he was getting with Kanter. Nurkic, wow. He is rewarding his fantasy owners at the end of the season. Grabbing those, this game might help some of you guys win rebound. 17 rebound, 5 assists, a steal and a block, 26 points. Look really, really good. This is what we envision what Nurkic can do. Right? A big man can get us assists and steals. Right? Unlike the traditional big man only give us blocks, rebound in huge volume. He can give us steals. He can give us assists. He can even shoot some threes, but that's irrelevant because the making 0.5 threes doesn't really matter too much compared to a guy that makes 0 threes. He hit 1 3 here. Really, really good game against the Grizzlies. So yeah, obviously hold. I think Cantor is a drop. I think we only stream him really. Well, obviously, like if you trying to win rebound and they got one more win this week, sure you can hold on to him. But he doesn't really give us anything else at the moment. But if Nurkic sits out, we could stream Cantor. We could stream Cantor in. Who knows? You could grab us 70 rebound in 30 minutes as well. CJ and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard finally had an okay, great game. 27 points, 5 assists and a steal, but still shot the ball horribly. And CJ, 9 rebounds and 7 assists is really, really good. 22 points. CJ McConnell has been giving us pretty where's CJ? 32nd ranked player in the last month. I think this season he really improved his assists and steals. Last season he was averaging around 4 assists and 0.8 steals. In the last month, 5.4 assists and 1.2 steals and even 0.7 blocks. The defensive stats really, really good, giving a sneaky defensive stat value. CJ was the guy that's known for no defensive stats, just some points and threes. But this year he's doing a little bit of everything. So if he starts doing that, for sure he's a top 50 guy. Let's go to last game of the night. Curry is too hot at the moment. Other than the loss to the Wizards, who is even a hotter team than them at the moment, they're the 9th seed, moving closing distance to the 8th seed. But I think the top 10 teams in the West is, it's pretty much determined at this point. The Spurs, they're the 10th, and they're currently 3.5 games ahead of Pelicans. So the first 10 teams, so now it's just playing for the seed. Everybody's got a shot to make the playoffs. For Denver, Michael Porter Jr., I don't know. It's the first time I see him shot under 50% in the last month. But again, hit 7 threes. Again, if you're counting assists, Kevin Porter Jr. is a beast. Really, 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 really good if you're counting assists. Let me just see that real quick. And most importantly, has been healthy. Other than he was out due to COVID, he's playing heavy minutes every single game, and healthy and playing. Well, let me just do this experiment real quick. So let's say in the last month, I am counting assist. Next season, if you got him, maybe you could consider punting assist, because he give us 0 assists pretty much every single game. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. If you're punting assist, Porter Jr. 18th ranked player. His ranking he's a top 30 guy probably without punting assist. Once you punt assist, man, he's better than Paul George. He's better than Jason Tatum. Oh my God! In the last month, he's better than guys like James Harden and Damian Lillard, Fred VanVleet if he punting assist. Why? Because he's giving us everything else is just so good. 18 points, 2.5 threes, 7.6 rebound. Well, even the steals is low. If he can move his steal, just his efficiency is so good. He doesn't turn the ball over. Those 3 categories, the value he's providing you, especially for a top 20 guy, is I think he's the best. Like in the top 20, nobody turns the ball over fewer than him, right? So he's a very unique guy that if you punting assist, look really good. Jokic, Aaron Gordon, I think Will Barton hurt himself under a minute, so that helps. I think a lot of guys. Monty Morris is still out. I think PJ Dozier is gonna get more minutes, and Campazzo is also gonna get more minutes. But who knows? Sometimes maybe Coach Malone decided to go big, give Aaron Gordon a few more minutes. So at the moment, it's hard to see. And Will Barton out, with him out, they just got destroyed. I don't know if it's because him being out or the Warriors are just too good. But I would wait and see who benefits from this. Maybe nobody, because he plays 35 plus minutes. Obviously, Jamal Murray is out for the season. Campazzo is a guy mainly streamed for assists and steals. He gave us a little bit here for assists and a steal. But just gotta be patient now. He will go off. 10 assists and 3 steal game will come. You just gotta be patient. Not much to talk about. PJ Dozier got 30 minutes, had 3 steals. That's good. 5 assists. But we don't know how many minutes is he gonna play. Maybe he'll take all Will Barton's minutes. We don't know. For the Warriors, Curry great, 32 points. In the last month, we really have to nitpick here. He was good. The counting stat looked really good in the last month. So many threes, but the defense is basically missing. Got 0.5 steals and 0.2 blocks, but everything else is super good. Obviously, 4.7 assists is low for him, but consider he's averaging 38 points. He's not gonna assist all that often. Draymond Green, Curry is playing well. Draymond is gonna be a beast. Wow, Draymond, 12 rebound. That's Russell Westbrook numbers. Seriously, 12 rebound, 19 assists, but no defensive stats. Easy win for the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins has been so good. Basically a rock for the Warriors all season, healthy. 70th ranked player in the last month. Lately he's been doing a little bit of everything, even though the free throw is still rough. But if you ignore the free throws, he's being a top 50 guy for sure. Kevon Looney, 8 rebound, nothing else. Could consider streaming him for rebound and defensive stats. He's been getting consistent 27 minutes. Yeah, that's it. Warriors, not many guys have good value. I mean, Kelly Oubre Jr., if he's out there on the waiver wire, he's been coming off the bench and I think playing much better. We know he just won 2 games. Last game he also played pretty well actually, compared to his standard. So maybe they're just trying to, have him and Curry play. Maybe he can be the 6th man coming off the bench, do his thing. The defensive stats, that's why I love Kelly Oubre Jr. 3 steals and 2 blocks. And he can score a little bit and hit some threes. I would consider picking on stream Kelly Oubre Jr. If also depends on the schedule. If the Warriors schedule look good, then it's no brainer, right? He's the best guy other than Curry and Draymond and Wiggins. He's the best guy on this team. Okay, that's it for all the games. I'll talk to you guys later.